In this video, we are going to write a system of equations from a given problem. All right. So let's see what we have. A biologist studied the weight of two alligators over a period of 12 months. The initial weight and growth rate of each alligator are shown in the table below. Write a system of equations that the biologist could use to compare the weight of the alligators. All right, let's see what our information is. We have two alligators, alligator 1 and alligator 2, and notice that our rows are the initial weight and then the rate of growth. And what we're asked to do is to write a system that biologists could use to compare the weights. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an equation for the first alligator. So why don't we just call this number 1. This is alligator number 1. I'm just going to use some shorthand here. And for both of these equations, why don't we say let W equal the alligator weight, or alligator weight, sure. And why don't we put this as the initial alligator weight? How about that? So in other words, initial is what they started with. And why don't we let T equal time in months. And the reason I picked months is because their rate of growth, I could see here, is in months, right? It's 1.5 pounds here and 1 pound here. Okay, so for our first alligator, what do we have? Our equation, why don't we do it in words first and see what we're going to get. It's going to be this. It's going to be the weight. It's going to equal what? Well, it's going to equal the initial weight, pardon me, plus what? Well, plus the growth rate. I'm just going to write it this way if you don't mind, multiplied by time. In other words, how long, what's the rate of the growth of this alligator multiplied by how long it's growing for. All right? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to put in what I would write my equation with. In other words, what I'm trying to say here is that W is going to equal the initial weight, and this is for our first alligator, that would be 4 pounds, plus the growth rate, which is 1.5 pounds per month, multiplied by time, T. All right, so my equation would be W, the weight of this alligator, is going to equal its initial weight plus how much it grows per month. And that would be my first equation. My second equation is going to follow that same pattern. It's going to be the weight equals the initial weight plus the growth rate times time. So for number 2, the only thing that's changing here are my numbers. It's the same words, but my numbers are going to change. So what do I got? For number 2, W is going to equal, what did I start with? 6 pounds, plus it's growing at 1 pound per month, and that, of course, would be 1T. All right, and that would be the second alligator. This one would be the first. I think I'll write number 1 right here. And we now have a system of equations that we could use to figure out the weight of these alligators.